What's up, everybody? Justin here to do another edition of another countdown video. Here we go with another countdown, another top 5 countdown. Check out my playlist of all my past countdown videos. I got a lot of them in my playlist. Getting damn dark in here. Let's turn that light on. Here we go with my top 5 Hell in a Cell matches. My top 5 favorite, in my opinion. In my opinion, they're the top 5 cell matches. And some of my favorites. There are others that I did enjoy, but I'm not going to make a top 20 or didn't even feel like doing a top 10 Hell in a Cell matches. Even though I probably could have. So my number 5 is the last Hell in a Cell match we saw. It was at WrestleMania 32 this year. In 2016, the last cell match was The Undertaker against Shane McMahon. If Shane won, he could control Raw and take it from his sister Stephanie. But Shane lost. And it would have been stupid. It would have been really bad to have The Undertaker lose to Shane. Was it stupid for Undertaker to lose to Brock? No, I don't believe it was. Him losing to Shane would have been way more stupid. So my number 5 is Undertaker against Shane McMahon, Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 32. Why is that my number 5? Why did that make the list? Why did that make this top 5? Because of Shane McMahon's dive. Shane McMahon's jump off this top of the cell. Top of the cell. I mean, the new Hell in the Cell. Believe they made a new cell in 2006 or 9, whatever, one of those years. They made the cell higher and larger, wider. So Shane climbed up there. Before the match, I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to do a big, big stunt because it was WrestleMania in AT&T Stadium, one of the biggest stadiums probably in the United States, maybe in the world. Over 100,000 people were there. Some numbers say only 89,000, whatever, who cares how many were there. There were a lot of people there. So this was one of the most profitable WrestleManias of all time for sure. And it was one of the biggest. So that's why this is on my list, because of Shane McMahon's dive off the top of the cell that was probably 25-30 feet in the air. He jumps off the cell in elbow drop through the table. Undertaker moves. That was insane spot. I was scared when Shane McMahon was up there. I was scared for the guy. I didn't think he'd get injured or die. I didn't think he'd die, but it was damn risky. So my number 5, Undertaker, Shane McMahon from WrestleMania 32. My number 4, Hell in a Cell match. Mick Foley as Cactus Jack against Triple H from No Way Out 2000. This match was great. It was tremendous. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, and Triple H at this time in the beginning of 2000 had a great feud going. They had a great match at Royal Rumble, street fight. Then at No Way Out, they have a Hell in a Cell. If Mick Foley loses, he must retire. Well, he did lose. This match is damn good. The cage, one of the cage doors from the inside got, busted open. So they started climbing out of the cell. And barbed wire 2x4s involved. It was lit on fire on top of the cell, and Mick Foley's trying to climb up the cell, and Triple H put the barbed wire on his head, started raking his head, and then he fell backwards through one of the announce tables. That was looked like a brutal spot that hurt like hell. And then on top of the cell, Mick Foley gets backdropped by Triple H, and he breaks through the ceiling of the cell, and he falls through the ring. Ring caves in. I know it's all set up for the ring to cave in. I'm sure there's protection where it caved in. for Mick Foley so he wouldn't land on concrete under the ring. Anyways, it doesn't matter if there's protection. It was a very well done. It was a great spot, great stunt, whatever you want to call it. It was great. Broke through the roof of the cell, breaks through part of the ring, caves in. That was awesome. Triple H goes in the ring, pins Cactus. Mick Foley kicks out of that. So then Triple H, I believe, pedigrees him, and then 1, 2, 3, Mick Foley does not kick out of the pedigree. It was a great cell match. Go back, if you have the network, and watch No Way Out 2000, Triple H, Cactus Jack in the Hell in a Cell. Great match. Great cell match. My number 3, Hell in a Cell from Armageddon 2000. The main event of Armageddon 2000, it was a 6-pack challenge Hell in a Cell match. You had Rikishi, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Triple H. I mean, every guy's a main eventer. I mean, I don't think Rikishi was really ever a big main event talent, but whatever. The other 5 guys were main eventers. Great cell match, entertaining as hell. I mean, you had Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Undertaker in the cell. There's no way that it would have been a bad match with those 5 guys in the year 2000. All of those guys were still in their prime, in my opinion. And Rikishi, for a big guy, super heavyweight, he was pretty good, but I still believe he's not a main eventer. But he got in the match for some reason, I don't remember why. He got a WWF title shot. Kurt Angle is the champion. He was defending it. And shockingly, Kurt Angle walked out of the cell still as WWF champion. That was pretty shocking that they had him retain, because I didn't think he was going to. But my number 3, Hell in a Cell from Armageddon 2000. My number 2 Hell in a Cell match is Triple H again. Triple H against The Undertaker. End of an era. I believe it was WrestleMania 28. Or no. 29 maybe. I think it was 28. Because 29, I believe, is Undertaker CM Punk. So 28. 27 was Triple H, Undertaker. I believe it was a no DQ match or something. And then the year later, they had a WrestleMania rematch, but it was in Hell in a Cell, end of an era. Shawn Michaels was the referee. Great cell match. They didn't use the cage that much, but who cares? They used a lot of chairs, or at least one chair. They kept bashing each other with the one chair. Then they used Triple H as sledgehammer. I thought it was a great cell match. Undertaker, Triple H from WrestleMania 28. HBK, of course, part of the Clique. Triple H's best friend super kicks the Undertaker during the match to try to get him to lose his streak and have Triple H defeat and beat the streak, but Undertaker kicked out of that. I believe Undertaker might have even tombstoned the referee, Shawn Michaels. I can't really remember, but I think he did. So that's my number 2 from WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell, Triple H, Undertaker. My number 1, I'm pretty sure you can guess what number 1 is. This should be everybody's number 1, because it was probably the most famous Hell in a Cell match. It put Hell in a Cell, in my opinion, on the map. Yes, the first one was great. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, first cell match was great. We've never seen anything like that before. It was great. But my number 1 is Mankind against The Undertaker from King of the Ring 98, Hell in a Cell. The second ever Hell in a Cell match. And it was the most brutal, well, I don't know, both guys didn't bleed a ton. So it wasn't the most violent. I wouldn't say it was the most violent, but it was the most brutal to watch. I mean, if you watch that match and you don't cringe still, there's something wrong with you. If you watch that match and you don't shake your head and cringe like, holy crap, how could Mick Foley still get up after all that? So my number one, Undertaker, Mankind, we know what happened. They started the match on top of the cell, and then Undertaker throws, well, doesn't really throw, but just touches Mick Foley and he jumps off the cell. It looked like Undertaker threw him off, but he really didn't. I don't know, Mick Foley, the guy was lucky to turn over on his side. He was probably going down the cell like 200 miles per hour. I don't know how he turned his body and got his back to crash through the announcer's table. The guy could have landed on his head. The guy could have been killed. I'm not joking. Mick Foley in Hell in a Cell at King of the Ring 98, he could have been killed. He could have died. But luckily, the guy did not pass away. And then he was laying on top of the, just destroyed announcer's table. He was laying there for a while, probably 8 to 10 minutes. Vince McMahon came down. He looked worried and scared out of his mind, like, why did I agree to this? Again, if it wasn't the Attitude Era, I don't believe anybody would have agreed to have Mick Foley do these stunts and jump off the cell. And I don't think the roof, the second time Mick Foley walks away, they take him on a stretcher, he gets up, officials are trying to stop him, he just pulls himself away, climbs back up on the cell. And then he gets choke slammed through the cell. I don't think that's planned. I don't think Taker or Mick Foley, I don't think they thought the roof of the cell would give out and break. Part of the cage would break. And Mick Foley go crashing through it and take a nasty bump on his back. His body twisted sideways. It was not good. Again, he could have, I don't know how he didn't suffer a broken back or something like that. He didn't suffer any broken bones. Shockingly, I believe he separated his shoulder really bad. That's about it. And he got his tooth knocked out and it went up his mouth into his nose somehow. That was insane. So, an Undertaker, I believe, was started Hell in a Cell 98 at King of the Ring 98. He started the match. He had a broken bone in his foot. At least that's what I heard. But anyways, Mick takes one fall off the cage and he goes and gets chokeslammed through the cage. Insanity. The guy, I can't believe he can still walk. I'm really thankful and happy he can still walk and that he's not in a wheelchair. Sadly, I think in 10 years, Mick Foley may have to be in a wheelchair because I don't know how the guy's going to walk. The older he gets, I think he's going to be in more pain and more pain. But maybe, hopefully, DDP Yoga can help out his pain and get rid of it. I don't know. I know Mick Foley's, I think he's still doing DDP Yoga. Good for him. I hope he's in less pain because the guy, Mick Foley, is giving the wrestling fans so much. The guy's giving his body, the guy's giving his health and his body to pro wrestling and the fans. The guy deserves to live a healthy life and not be in pain every single day of his life. I believe he is probably in a lot of pain every day he has to get out of bed. But that's the price, I guess, that's the price he has to take, I guess, for the career that he had and his style that he did. But, I don't know, it was insane. Mick Foley survived Hell in a Cell at King of the Ring 98. Insane he survived it and still went on to wrestle a lot of matches after that Cell match. Definitely Mick Foley, he said last night on Raw, that Hell in a Cell changed my life. And not for the better, for the worse. Yes, it's probably most famous match Mick Foley will ever be in, has ever been in. That's what he's known for, falling off the cell. But he shouldn't just be known for that, in my opinion. Mick Foley should be known as, first off, one of the nicest guys in pro wrestling. He's not a jerk. He's not an a-hole to the fans. He's a super nice guy. Great family man, great father, great husband. The guy saved his money. All the money he made in his career, I'm pretty sure he saved it. And he was smart with his money. He's not broke like a lot of other wrestlers that are broke. That's why they're probably suing Vince McMahon in a concussion lawsuit, because they're probably broke and bitter and angry. Mick Foley's not bitter. He's not angry. The guy's still working for WWE. He's doing a great job as a general manager of Raw. The guy's a hardcore legend. The guy's an icon. I mean, Mick Foley, to me, in pro wrestling, the guy's a national treasure. The guy is a wrestling god, in my opinion. I respect Mick Foley probably more than any other wrestler in history. So that's my number one Hell in a Cell match. Undertaker, Mankind from Hell in a Cell 98. Remember, it was only the second ever Cell match. The first one was great. HBK Undertaker did a lot of stuff in there nobody's ever seen. But the second one topped it. And forever, Undertaker, Mankind at King of the Ring 98, forever, in my opinion, that match will be known as the greatest Cell match of all time. Hope you enjoy my top 5 Hell in the Cell matches. Enjoy WWE Hell in a Cell 2016 on the network in 5 nights. Hope you watch it. Hope you enjoy it. I'll be watching it. And I'll be on Twitter live tweeting Hell in a Cell at WWE NXT Guy. Follow me on Twitter for Hell in a Cell live tweets. Also, subscribe to my YouTube if you don't already. I'd really appreciate it. Have a great Tuesday. Enjoy SmackDown Live if you watch it. Bye for now.